when you come to a river, you're going to sample pan. And that means you take your gold pan, you look around at some of the most promising spots, and you grab your scoop, and you go out there and you do some sampling in random places, and you see what pays off. Don't stop at one, even if you hit a good strike the very first time, because you want to keep looking, because you might find an even better strike over there or over there. So make yourself take a half a dozen pans or so, pan it out, and then you'll know. And we'll teach you how to sample pan now, because it's a little bit different than regular panning. Okay, so I picked a spot on the other side of this river here. It's got a nice big rock in it that's got a likely probability of having some gold behind it. And so I'm going to do a sample pan here. So first, I'm going to look at the way the water flows. Now right now the water comes down here and flows that way. It comes down here and flows that way. It's not straight downstream like it should be. But you got to remember, gold isn't really flowing right now because it's late fall. So the water level is really, really low. When gold is flowing is when springtime comes, when the water level is like up to here. So then the water would be going straight past here and not coming around and curving behind it. And that means your spot's going to be back there, not over here where it is right now. The dead spot right now is right here, and the water comes around like that. The dead spot in the wintertime is going to be around here like that. So that's what I'm going to dig. So, quick way to fill up a pan, put it underwater, take your scoop, and just scoop up into it. It'll at least get you some rocks in the bottom of it so you don't have to do a whole thing. Now take that and set it up out of the way, pull the biggest of the rocks out, and try to scoop some more dirt in there. There's a lot of large rocks down here. I'm having trouble getting actually any soil, so it's going to be a little bit hard to sample right here. As I mentioned before, these videos aren't staged, so you're dealing with the real-time problems that I'm actually coming up with in the river. Sometimes you have trouble finding any sand and all you get is nice clean gravel like that. You're not likely to find a whole lot of gold in there. So I'll keep walking around here until I find something that's got a little bit more sand. You get rid of some of these big rocks. Now this is a place where if you have one of those screens that fits on top of your pan, it's nice to carry that around too along with your scoop or your shovel, because it'll get rid of all these things really quickly and help you focus on the soil. And most of the time your gold is going to be in the soil. It's not going to be in these large clean rocks. I really have practically no soil at all there, so I'm going to have to dig a lot deeper if I'm going to find any dirt that I can find gold in here. All I'm getting on top is just gravel. Probably it's just overly washed through here and all the soil is on the bottom. I'm going to have to dig through a lot more stuff to get to it. So I'm going to look at that, and if I don't think it's practical, I'm going to move to a different spot, because the whole purpose of sampling is you want to spend 20 or 30 minutes looking around the river trying to find a good spot, and then you pick one and then you work. You don't want to spend all day doing this. So I'm going to pan this down real quick. Even though it's mostly gravel. And it's okay to scrape like this when you got nothing but rocks and when you're sampling panning. There may be gold here, but you're going to have to dig down a lot deeper to find it, and I'm not prepared to work that hard right now. I'm going to go to an easier spot, because when you first get someplace, why fight the hard things when you can work with an easier spot? So now we're going to walk upriver a little ways to another promising spot that I haven't worked out before. Now this isn't bedrock, but it's a large enough rock that it's going to mess up the water flow some. So I'm going to pull out some of the biggest rocks from underneath it. By underneath I mean downstream. And then we'll try scooping out here. Bedrock isn't far away. I can see it poking up here and there, so if I do find gold here, it'll be a good place to continue all the way down, because if gold stops here, it's going to keep going down and down and down towards bedrock, and those are the best places to find gold. So the idea here is to get as much dirt in here as you can, and then pan it down all at once, because the more dirt you work, the better sampling you have of what quality material you're going to be working. So now I'm going to wash off these big rocks off the top and pluck them out. And contrary to what may seem, I am actually looking at these as I throw them away. So Here's how we sample pan. Shake it really good. You want as much dirt in here as you can, and shake it as much as you can without knocking it out. Now, stop. All gold is on the bottom. Now you take your hand, scrape off 2 inches off the top. Straight off the top, like that. I know some of you may be horrified by that, but I didn't lose anything significant, and my purpose here is not to find every piece of gold, it's to find if there's significant gold here. And I will not have missed much by doing that, and I will save myself about 2 or 3 minutes. Now, settling it down into the corner, doing it again. Another 1.5 inches or so. Settle. And now we're down to a manageable level that you can clean out very quickly the ordinary way. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm down to black sand, so I'm going to rotate, wash, and I see no significant gold there. Maybe a couple tiny specks, but I'm not worried about that. So, I'm just going to wash it out and move on to another hole. This one didn't pan out, which is the origin of the expression, by the way. So now we're going to try some other places until we find a spot we're going to work in, and that's how you sample pan, and how you pick out where you're going to work in the river and how you're going to work. Once you figure that out, then you'll know which of the following videos you need to follow.